Good morning, and here we are at Whitney Mesa. This is sandwiched between Las Vegas and Henderson, somewhere in the middle there. As you can see there, that's where we're going today. So it starts off quite nice. Motorbike. Starts off quite nice. It's a 5-mile loop. So we're going to do the first bit and then carry on and do the whole 5-mile loop, which goes to Stephanie Lynn Park, White School Park area on Russell, and then come all the way back. So if you're following along for the virtual run, you can mute it, listen to your own music. Otherwise I'll spew some facts and tips along the way. And there's the first one, dangerous snakes. I've been here 10 years, I've never seen one, but maybe they live right there. So let's get started. So I'm at the Trailhead on Sunset, which kind of looks like this. There's like 20 parking spaces, but there's a couple parallel parking spaces there, and if not, you'll have to go on the road. It's Saturday today, it's about 95 degrees. So with that said and done, let's get going. A lot of bikes today. So the only water around here is right here. That's why we get all this greenery here, which will soon disappear. So there's a loop. You can go that way and do the down loop, or you can start up here and do the up loop and go up on the mesa. We're gonna do both. Now the thing is about mesas is that once you're up, you're up. They're formed by erosion, rain and whatnot. So the top is quite hard. However, the underneath is very soft. So that slowly gets washed away, and you end up with this huge kind of flat mountain of sorts, which is Spanish for table, I believe. So that's probably where the name comes from. So you can also park up there as well. And there's the trail to the other car park up there. So this is the last hill. Then we're on the mesa. So there's a lot of lookouts on these mesa edges. It's a really nice place to come to at night time. You can see a lot of the Vegas lights. That sunset station right there. There's the trail down there that we'll be taking on the way back. You see that mountain in the distance? That's called Frenchman Mountain, which is northeast of the city. There's two little, I think, weather stations of some sort on the top. And as you've guessed, we're near the Las Vegas airport. Las Vegas McCarran Airport. You'll see a lot of planes lining up. We just fly right over here. It's really cool at night time when they have all their lights on. You can see them all come in a line on the flight path. So Frenchman, if you want to check that out, I already have a video on my channel going up Frenchman. It's a really tough hike. I wouldn't do it in the summer, way too hot. This one's not so bad because you're surrounded by a lot of civilization and people. Frenchman's not exactly in the city, so you're a little bit buggered if you get a bit of heat stroke. But October time, which is where we're at now, we're getting into winter. Las Vegas is one of those cities where you get 2 weeks of autumn or fall and 2 weeks of spring. Everything else is summer and winter. It's just one of those things. So you can take these trails down there. They'll lead you to the lower loop. There's a little aquatic center down there. And a really hard Strava segment coming up that hill. But we're going to continue. So in the distance over there is the park. And that'll be sort of halfway where we turn around. So this building ahead of us, it's an industrial estate. I don't know what they have going on in the building, but they have 24-hour security. Mostly they play on their phones in the security cars, but I've parked in that industrial estate to come here at 2 in the morning. I've never had any problems. I just don't park in there a lot. So that's the way you would come if you're coming in after hours. And it's right near Ethel M's chocolate factory, if you're wondering whereabouts it is from the roadside. which is Russell and Mountain Vista area. So 1 mile in, got some mile markers. If you're going this way, the clockwise route, all the effort is in the start, as you could see up that hill. Once you've done that, it's a nice run or hike, whatever you choose to do. So again, if you choose to park in this industrial estate, you just cut through this parking lot right here, and you'd come onto the trail right there. So we're coming to the end of what I would call the maintained trail, the one that gets the most use. The one where 95% of people turn around and go back. But we'll continue all the way to the end. And I'll show you, well, there's a few surprises in store. I'll reveal them soon. So this is where most people turn around. They might look out, sit down, go to the end of there. But we'll continue down here. Now this trail is not very well maintained, and it will get worse. It's just one of those things, but I really like it because it's, you know, it's what I would class as a nice proper running trail. Little ups and downs. Single track. So we're getting into unmaintained territory now. It gets a little bit rough, a little bit dirty. I never had a problem, but that's just what happens, I guess. So 2019, all of this was bulldozed. As you can see, they're still kind of working on it. So there was a little trail that went through there, which we can no longer see. But if we run down here, we get a nice view. And we can pick up the edge trail off right here. And this will snake all the way along the edge of the Mesa. It's a bit precarious around here, but it's not too bad. You just have to be careful with what footwear you choose, as the ground is, well, you can see for yourself. So there's Stephanie Lynn Park, or White School Park. I use them interchangeably, but they're right next to each other, so it's a little confusing. So you can see a lot of the greenery down there where the rain settles. The good thing about this half of the trail is no one's really here. I don't think I've ever seen anybody. Well, apart from, you'll see in a second. So this is where they really just bulldozed it all. But we can pick it up right here. And then continue. So if we continue down here, we'll come over the top of the mesa and down into a little trail system right by White School Park, which we'll see momentarily, but we're going to continue all the way to the end, which is just over there. Now, this last area down here, there's a lot of makeshift tents, gazebos. It's full of homeless people. However, they're not very tidy. All their rubbish, plastic bottles, chip packets are strewn all over that area, and it's not a pleasant place to go. It smells really bad from up here, and it's just really sad. You can see the gazebo down there. There's about 4 or 5 bicycles and a lot of crap. It's really sad, really. That area was such a nice area to explore because it's where most of the greenery is, and there's a few little lookout docks made of wood. You can actually go down there, but it's not a pleasant area to go to, especially when you're by yourself. If you're a fast runner, I'm sure you'll be fine, but again, it's not much to see. It's just kind of upsetting. Right here, sometimes there's a boxer dog which belongs to one of those said homeless people, and it's never on its leash. However, it's a friendly dog, so I thought if you fancy doing this trail, it'd be good to get a heads up on that. It's usually right here. Now this is the worst part of the trail. It's not maintained at all. The water's eroded a lot of the path, so you have to go quite slowly. See right here. And I don't think it'll ever get maintained, based on the fact that no one's bothered to clean out all the litter here. So I think that would probably be the last thing on their minds, unfortunately. So here's the whole area here. So there's little lookout wooden docks here, but again you can see the gazebos and makeshift tents. It's not a pleasant area to go down, but this top path here always been fine. So if you were to see a rattlesnake, which I never have, this would be the area, as they like shade and whatnot. About luck, you can see, I don't know if it's possible to see, but so much trash and things down there. There was a fire down there a year ago, but a lot of it's grown back now, which was nice. You can see a lot of trash over there too, which it's a modern day example of how a mesa works, really. The wind comes in, it can't erode the top layer of rock because it's quite hard through constant use of the elements and whatnot, and you see the underneath gets eroded until the hole's big enough the top crumbles under its own weight. But that's how a mesa really works. It's just a shame that it's represented by a lot of trash and garbage in there, which is yeah, really bad to see. Awful, isn't it? Yeah. The problem with Vegas is a lot of the officials are more interested in the tourism aspect and hospitality. A lot of the nature areas, you know, are lower down on that list. So we're getting to the edge of our of the whole mesa, really. This is where we start turning around. On this side, because it's not really maintained, it's not as paved for us. But we're coming up to Russell. You can hear the traffic. So if you don't have trail shoes, you probably want to take this area a little carefully. It's loose mud, prescription pill bottles. There's not a nice, well, it's not a great block of apartments near here, so you see a lot of riffraff. But generally, as long as you don't come around here at night time, it's fine. And yeah, so if coming at night time, I recommend the first 1.5 miles we did. It's a really nice area. This bit's a bit better in the day. So now here's the trail system. I've never seen bicycles on it. I don't see why not. It's quite nice. There's a lot of makeshift stairs made out of wood and things like that. I think I took a little wrong turning, so we're gonna have to find the trail again. But around here it's a network of little trails. It really doesn't matter which one you take. So we're coming up to Russell, which is one of the main roads, and that runs parallel to this park. And at the park you can park your car. However, when the sun is set, the police will regularly check the park just if you're trespassing. And it's happened before. I got off the trail a bit late. He got a bit power crazy and told me to lean against the hood of his car. Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? But really, I was walking my dog and got a bit carried away on the trails. Got back to my car a little late, and yeah, the police person overreacted, but you know, it is what it is. So here's the trail system, and that's White School Park next to Stephanie Lynn Craig Park. And they have baseball fields, playground, some grass, yeah, things like that. And that's the gate you can go through to get onto this trail system. And the Mesa there, that's what we were on top of a few moments ago. So now there's a water fountain there that you can refuel if you didn't bring any drink. The thing that gets me about Las Vegas is it gets up to 120 degrees, and about 65% of the water fountains in public parks don't work, which is bizarre. I don't understand that at all. It's really dangerous, just for those people who aren't prepared. Like, coming from the UK, I didn't even imagine how hot 120 degrees would be. It's a whole different ball game that you've never played before. So when people get caught off guard by the sun, which can happen really quickly, it's nice to be able to get a drink from a public park that's funded by people that pay tax and whatnot. But there you go. So it's Saturday, some baseball games going on. So all of these trails here you can run up. It's friendly. He's alright. Okay. When you see a dog and you're running, it's always safe to stop. Everyone thinks that dog doesn't do anything wrong, but you know, I've had dogs bite me before. Usually when I just stop, the dog doesn't want to do anything because it likes the chase. And even if it likes the chase, it'll be a playful bite, but yeah, it's just good to avoid all of that. So this trail system here, it goes up and down all of these hills here. You can go all the way to the end and avoid it all, but since I have the camera with me, let's you know, enjoy some of it. It's a lot of up and downs. So right now we're 3 miles in. And from down here you can see a lot of those enclaves which go into the Mesa, and you can explore them. There's a few gazebos, but there's only a couple of ways to get back on the Mesa from down here. If you keep going, it's way too steep. So if you want to get up around here, your last chance is around here somewhere. So this whole area you can just explore. Yeah, again, it's a little trail system, just goes everywhere. I just take a couple of the paths so you can see. So it's quite nice. But yeah, so this is the way through. You can get a, you know, hit a few dead ends. So a little river runs through here, or maybe more like an arroyo, which is a seasonal river. However, it's enough to sustain a lot of these trees and plant life, which we're going through now. So because I have a lot of Northern European heritage, the weather's getting a little bit uncomfortable after the 3 mile mark, and we're in mid-October. So again, be prepared. And it's one of those places where you have to wear sunscreen in months like December and January, which is crazy to think about sometimes. So all this area, you can explore it. There used to be a trail system going around the outside, but it's eroded away. So this is another place you can park, just up there. There's a gazebo, not really much else. I think there's some toilets, yeah. So right there. So there's a nice view of the whole area. There's the industrial estate up there, the trail we wrapped around, and the park. And now we're just going to pick up the trail across this little road here. So this area is relatively new. It's the Bmx Park. I mostly only see kids on it. That's not to say adults aren't allowed, but it's just one of those things where you don't see adults taking up things like gymnastics. I don't know why, I thought it'd be cool, but things like that, almost exclusively kids only, which is a shame because I'd love to take my BMX there. I'm sure they have a special adult night. So we're starting to see some more paths up the Mesa here. This building here is the Aquatic Center. You can swim and whatnot. I think it's around $5 for the pool. It's not too bad, I guess. It's nice after a run. Another area here, there's some archery. It's quite new. They had a patch of grass here for about 3 years, and the only thing it said on there was don't go on the grass. And I was forever wondering what they'd use it for, but it looks like archery and activities, and you can buck it out and stay the night here now. So yeah, like I say, this whole first area is really well maintained. It's just at the end it's not so much. So up here there's a Strava segment. If you're familiar with Strava, you can park at the pool there, and the fastest time to run up the Mesa there. So if you want to try that, it's a really fun challenge. I think I have the segment right now, but I'm not really much of a runner, so it's a challenge for you guys and girls out there to see if you can beat it. So coming to some tennis courts now. So it looks like they have an event on. First time I've seen that actually. Oh yeah, some tennis matches on right now. Quite serious actually. I need to be quiet. I'll look that up later, I'm not sure what that is. It's not exactly going to be the US Open next to Whitney Mesa, but you'll be curious to find out. For people who follow tennis, Andre Agassi is from Las Vegas. And I believe, I'm not 100%, but he helped bring a lot of popularity and interest in tennis to Las Vegas, which is quite nice. But the only thing we need is a nice public track, a running track. That's something I haven't seen. You usually have to sneak into high schools, which gets a little bit weird before 7 AM. So it's a bit of a dilemma. But a nice public track would be nice. So we're 4.1 miles in, almost there. So right at the start of the run, I said you could go that way instead, and this is the way it goes. I got a dog waiting for me down here. I guess it wasn't tasty enough. If you carry on down there, there's a little park. I think they got a little playground, patch of green grass. Not much else, but you know, somewhere else you can look. So yeah, people live in these houses here. I don't know if I'd want to, the amount of foot traffic they get looking in, but everybody's got to live somewhere, I suppose. you can see here, there's no way up here around this area. The only way up from here now going forwards is the way we came at the start of the video. I always think that's a real person, but it's just a statue. Got about 5 minutes left. I think it's this heat not in my brain a little. Now it's okay to walk, you can last a bit longer, but if you're pushing, you know, a good pace, threshold pace, you're gonna need to think about refueling water, Gatorade or whatnot. That house there, they have a couple dogs. If you come by in the morning, you'll hear them. Quite funny. I'm not sure their neighbours like them, but yeah, funny dogs. So the greenery in the distance, that's where we started. So when it rains in Las Vegas, it all comes in about 5 or 10 minutes, then just disappears for a few months. And when that happens, you get a lot of flash floods. The ground is hard, it can't soak the rain in, and it tends to travel along the surface. Now the city knows this and planned for it. However, there are areas where you get amber alerts on your phones. It's not safe to go down small rural roads. This area here tends to fill up quite quickly. Should I ask if his t-shirt doesn't work properly? No, maybe I shouldn't. He might be really quick. Might try and beat me up. So down there, it just goes to a neighborhood and dead ends. But this is the way back to the car park. On your leftical. A lot of the times, if it's cool weather, you get a lot of families kind of, you know, blocking the path. It's just one of those things. It's annoying for runners, but a lot of the time, you know, they'll hear and move. It's no big deal really. So we're coming up to where we parked, just there. And this is Sunset Road again. That's good because I'm knackered now. And here we are. That's where we started. Here's where you can park. And there's the mesa. So let's just go up to the end. And it'll be a nice big complete loop then. So there's the 5 mile timer gone off. So if you want to try it, 5 miles exactly. And here we go. And here's the start. Oh, I'm knackered now. Alright, so that's Whitney Mesa. 44 minutes. Not bad with the camera and talking. But yeah, check it out. It's a really cool area. I highly recommend it if you're a runner. And there we go. Thank you for watching.